Alright guys, so I'm starting a new project today. My cousin is having a baby girl about August 2nd or August 5th or whatever. So I'm making her another baby blanket. I've made her 3 kids a blanket. I've made my other cousin's 2 kids blankets. One of my 5th grade teacher, she had a baby, so I made her a blanket back when I was in 5th grade. So this all started about 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, about 8 years ago, so pretty happy about that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, so I'm gonna show you the blanket. Okay, so the baby's theme is like pink. Well, it's like supposed to be purple elephants, but obviously that's a very rare find, but this is what we found. It has pink elephants and like green and blue and purple turtles, so it does have a little bit of purple in it, but yeah, so I'm just gonna be penning the corners down so I know where to cut. And also I make a pillowcase with every blanket for the most part. And they're about this side, which is like a travel pillow, so 14 by 20 inches. That's how big the pillow and the pillowcase are. It's not that expensive, but so all this right here is about $30 plus the binding over there, but yeah, so it's not that bad. So, and plus it has lots of great memories. Alright guys, so this is like the pillowcase I showed you earlier that we were gonna do. Yeah, you're just gonna sew it on the sides. And that's gonna be the thing, the band, whatever. So, for the opening. Yep, looks like it fits pretty well. And this is our blanket. And it looks good. We still have to trim all the other stuff off, but it's going good.
We've just trimmed the edge off to make this even. We're going to put this back. So now that we got the salvage right here, we need to make sure that this is actually even. So let's put this way to this way. That way it'd be a lot easier to look at. But we got the salvage edge together. And we're going to flip it over and we're going to make it even right here. This is my husband's, but I'm using it. So I'm going to put this bottom edge even with the lines. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to mark it. What we're doing is we're making a band for the pillowcase. And I'm going to trim this top edge off to make it even. But once we put the 2 seams in, and we're going to trim this off, give us some selvage, seam allowance right here. This will flip in and fold under, and then we'll sew it. So you'll need a big band, and it'll probably be about 2 and 2. It'll be about 2 inches when it's completely done.
Yeah, so 4-inch band total. Anyways guys, here we are now. The final strip is getting cut off and we can sew it together. Yeah, it's pretty big. I don't know how big it is, but yep, it's pretty big. It's like as big as a crib size mattress basically. So yeah, I'm trying to cut it off. I don't know if it's working, but that's where we are. Alright guys, so I've got the pillowcase all pinned up and stuff, the sides of it, and this is like the little strip thing. So yeah, just gotta sew along these edges and along right there. And I've got my blanket all pinned up and we're ready to sew. Yay! Alright guys, I've got my sewing machine here. I haven't started it yet sewing the blanket, but There's some thread in there, but we might have to like oil and stuff because we haven't used it in like a year or so or more. Probably about 2 years. But there's some thread left in there. There's some thread right there. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun learning how to use this again. I don't think I've really actually forgotten, but I just haven't done a lot of sewing. So you'll get to watch me sew this blanket. Hey guys, so I'm still working on this blanket before I can sew it, so I guess I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. So basically on all the blankets before this, some of them I've actually not done it on, but there's these little knots to hold it together and keep it together so it doesn't like, you know, shift back and forth after you wash it and stuff. So yeah, basically I guess you could say like this is my rendition of a YouTube tutorial that I watched actually a few years ago, and this is where I got the idea from, and this is how I've made my blankets. All of the blankets that I've made for my cousins, that's where I got it from. So I might actually link that video in the description just to say thanks to that person, because they deserve it too, because this is where I got it from. So yeah, interesting little fact there. But yeah, so there's gonna be I'm almost done with the second row, and you can't really see it. There's one there and there. They actually don't look even. Okay, hold up. If we put them up there, they look kind of even. But here's the first row. So there's gonna be 3 across and then 4 deep. It's a pretty big blanket, but yeah. So I've got that one right there to finish the second row, and then I've got 2 more rows to go. So wish me luck. And there you have it. Looks good as pie. Looks good. Alright guys, so I finished putting the yarn on the stuff. So I'm here and I'm about to start sewing the blanket together, but binding is not on yet, so it will not be finished after this. But yeah, so let's get started. This time around we tried something new. We sewed a seam around the blanket before putting the binding on. And this is our last blanket for maybe another year or so. So we thought, why not? So we thought it might make it easier for us to put the binding on, to keep everything together, so we don't have to take needles out to put the binding on and then mess the blanket up. Alright guys, so I'm about to start the binding right here for the sides. I stitched it together already. As you can tell, along the side they're stitched together. And so basically you're going to need 2 packs of binding that matches whatever you're doing. And so you're going to need 2 of them, but you're barely going to use the second one. But you're going to sew them together before you pin it down. So you sew them together and then you flip them over and sew it down so it looks nice. You definitely cannot see me, but oh well. And I don't know why, but me and my mom, we just put them all the way in just so that it's easier and you don't have to like line it up as much. As accurately as you would on other And this you have to check a lot to make sure that it's still even and everything's still going good. The baby I'm making this for is due August 5th, but will probably be born August 2nd because she's getting induced. But yeah, so we don't know her name yet because they haven't decided on one. But yeah, so it'll be the third blanket I've made for this person. There we go, guys. I did it like perfectly. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go for right now. And I'll get back to you when I'm finished with the binding. So, peace out. Alright guys, so I'm like actually almost done with this blanket. The corners are done. They look very nice. This is the first time I've actually ever been able to like really do. And this is the end. But, yeah, so they're almost done. And I just have to sew it. But yeah, so almost finished. It looks so pretty. These look like flowers from above. Look how cute. Alright guys, so I'm finally finished with this baby blanket project. There's a pillow right there if you can't see it because it blends in. But yeah, so this is probably the fastest I've ever completed a Anyways, as I was trying to finish my sentence, I was saying this is probably the fastest I've ever completed a baby blanket. And I did it mostly entirely on my own, 99.9% on my own, so pretty proud of that one. The rest of them I've had help from my mom, and I had very minimal help from my mom this time. I did most of it myself, and I'm very proud of that. Yeah, so this is the fastest I've completed a blanket. But yeah, so just wanted to finish that.